Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, Dave, it's Mike down in West Virginia. I've been thinking about this tackle situation with Jed Wills. Obviously, Conklin's going to be back on a big contract. This is kind of Wills' prove-it year coming up. But I've called and addressed it before. The guy has no motor whatsoever. He gives up on plays early and everything. But let's get beyond that. What I'm thinking is Joe Bitonio, he has a chance to be spoken of right up there with Joe Thomas by the time he's done as a Brown. He played tackle, I think, in college. There were times where we entertained moving him to tackle. With Joe's ability, durability, reliability, and that nasty motor he's got, why not go ahead and move him to tackle? Try Jed Wills inside at left guard to kind of protect him, and then he knows when he pulls that he has to keep going and get to the second level. Maybe he won't give up on plays so bad. And then if this works out, then that will make Joe Bitonio, his legend, grow even further as a Cleveland Brown and really probably cinch him as a Hall of Famer. Interested to hear what y'all have to say about that. You guys take care. Love the show.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Quincy, they toyed around with and Joel Bitonio has played left tackle and played it well. Jedrick Wills has not been he hadn't lived up to the 10th pick in the draft. He hasn't been god-awful. And I think if you move Joel Bitonio, you're weakening that position and you're not putting him he's a guard now, and he's one of the best guards in the NFL. So I don't think you move him.
Offensive linemen aren't interchangeable. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just move a guard to tackle because you think one would, like, that's just not at this point in their career, right? Joe Thomas is somebody who would know a lot about this subject. He talks a lot about, hey, maybe coming out of college, you could switch positions for some of these guys, but once they get past their first, second year in the NFL, they play the position they play. Even something as simple as moving from right to left tackle in your mind where it's the same position, just flipped, that's not even a doable change. I mean, remember when Andrew Villanueva was on the Ravens and they tried to flip him to right tackle late in his career? He was awful right there, right? Like, it's not something that you can just change. It is a completely different position. I think we do this with football a lot where positions are similar enough that we think that anybody can do them. And in emergency situations, we do have some people do them. But that's not the same as starting at that position, right? Joe Bitonio doesn't want to play left tackle long term. He barely wants to do it in the emergency, right? Like, there have been times where the Browns have run out like a third string left tackle because Joe wants to play left guard because he's a guard, right? That's the position that he knows. The positions on the offensive line aren't just something we can swap around and change. It's kind of like the secondary. We're like, oh, this guy's good at corner. Let's just move him to safety. Not really how that works, right? You can't just move somebody to safety. So we got to look at this more practically, and the practical way to look at it is Joe's position is left guard. He's not interested in switching positions late in his career. And I don't think it would be beneficial to have one of your best players to switch positions, right? Would you want Donovan Peoples-Jones or Amari Cooper to switch to running back? Like, no, because they're good at wide receiver. So they should stay at the positions that they know how to play. Jed's got to play better. He's got to figure out what's going on with him mentally, that he is consistently giving this bad look out there that he doesn't have a motor. And that's up to him. And he will decide that. If he can't do that in the contract year, I don't know what he's going to do. But that's up to him. Then that's going to be what determines that position. We can't just switch Joe Bitonio to left tackle because that's just not practical. And it's not really a useful solution, in my opinion.